Tomorrow is going to be an awful day for me. Later today is going to be an awful day, I should say. There are going to be uh, a lot of people at that court case, and there is going to be a lot of shit I could only imagine. So,
Mm-hmm. Case is just on the shooting and that, yeah?
what's that? Sorry.
The case is on the shooting that occurred?
Uh, I'll be honest. I haven't read through. So I wasn't, and this isn't a lie. This is actually fact. I actually haven't had any involvement directly, and
Mm-hmm.
I do not remember if casings were found. I would imagine casings were found. I will say there's 11 incident reports on the docket, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 subpoenas. So there's a lot of evidence
Jeez.
public right
Okay.
now. There's 19, 7, 8, 18 different. Oh, I'm sorry. They added in another one. There's 19 pieces of evidence currently viewable to the public.
Sounds full on. When I was speaking to Selena earlier, she was expecting there to be potential shootings going on around that case.
What's up? Sorry. The last bit of what you said. I'm so sorry. I was reading.
No, you're good. Selena, she said she was expecting there to be shootings occurring around that case. Whether that to be try and get people out or shoot the people involved or what.
I'll be honest. The enduring urge to just not go on duty tomorrow continues to grow.
On a hike instead?
What was that?
Go on a hike instead?
Uh, I've been a cop long enough to tell you that that would be way more peaceful than what tomorrow's about to be. But I don't know. You feeling a little bit better now that you've had a chance to kind of talk, though?
Yeah, I do.
I'm glad.
Really appreciate you being there.
With the amount of times in my life that I wish somebody was there when I needed them, uh, I know when somebody is reaching out for help, and I would do it every time when given the opportunity.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate it. Well, this is kind of new to me, reaching out when I need it. I'm so used to the mindset of, oh, something's gone slightly wrong. I'm just going to go and get a bottle of alcohol and hope for the best.
We're gonna work on that. We're gonna continue to work through that one. We've made a lot of progress, and I think that that's a really good thing.
Yeah, it's not easy to kick. Especially when it's been the one constant in my life when I've been losing people.
I think the hardest thing that I had to kind of cope with when reaching out for help was being willing to accept the help. And I think that was because you kind of lose that trust as things happen. And one of the hardest things is to come to terms with that. But one of the best things I ever did was come to terms with that. Was the realization and allow me to be more open to people. Let me get through some of the hardest moments of my life.
I think that's one of my big downfalls. I've really struggled to open up to people. I can literally count on one hand people I've genuinely opened up to. And that hand's not even full. I'm just terrified of getting hurt over and over again.
I would suggest, and you do what you want with this. If you go against it, it's not wrong. There's nothing wrong about what I'm going to say. But I would keep your circle close, at least until more answers are had and you've had enough time to process.
The plan. And then I guess at the moment as well, the people that I can actually go to that I've opened up to is down to one.
As long as that one person is someone who you trust, the most I can tell you is that you only need one. It's nice to have 30 friends, nice to have 30 people to rely on, but you need one backbone. And if you have one friend who is somebody you can lean on, that is all you need. And I'll tell you, having that limiting number is very nice because you can always remember what you've told them. They always are caught up. You don't have to re explain yourself 4 times.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Well, Ziggy's been really helping.
Am I able to ask you a question that might be personal?
Hmm.
If you don't want to tell me, you don't have to. Uh, but is that one person Ziggy?
Yeah.
he wants nothing but the best for you. And him coming to us and expressing his concern was all that we needed. I'm going to rephrase that. That's all that I needed. And I think for a lot of us, and I'm going to say most of us, no one has had any issues with it. So I would put a lot of trust in Ziggy. And I mean, besides the obvious of marrying the fucking bastard, he's a good one.
I don't know, he's someone I didn't expect I'd ever open up to like this. I mean, I don't expect to open up to anyone like this. I had opened up to Solomon, but I can't rely on him anymore.
Chat, don't kill me. I just ordered Taco Bell. I may kill me ordering Taco Bell, but don't kill me. Why am I getting an ad? I ordered Taco Bell and it says the all new iPad Pro. Bro, I'm ordering Taco Bell. You think I can
Even
afford an
Shang is
iPad Pro? Suck my
best
ass.
friend, but I have had to push him away. Even if it's for a little bit. It's just until I get back
Ordering
working.
Taco Bell. What the fuck did you expect? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? I apologize.
No, you're good. Even Shang, he's my best friend. I've had to push him away.
The reality of a situation with a best friend or a close friend is that they can still always be your best friend. But you learn a lot about somebody in certain situations. And you always know that you can fall back on him for certain things. And I'm assuming, and you don't have to tell me specifics, I'm not looking for specifics. But I would imagine part of your circumstance with everything going on is probably part of the reason why you've had to push him away. And the good thing about knowing that is that you can take that as a learning moment in order to see and realize that Shang is reliable for a lot of things, but maybe not somebody to rely on for situations like this. Which,
Absolutely.
yeah, it only builds the friendship, if I'm honest. All right, chat. When are we adopting Rue?
Yeah. I mean, out of all the club, I mean, apart from Ziggy, I'd say Shang is the person who's been touching base with me the most and just seeing if I'm doing okay.
No, that's good. That's really good. Listen, I'm just memeing. But in Flop's mind, he's already sort of had the mental of caretaking. unofficially adopted. But
Can I tell you something that's been weighing on me a bit?
sure. Yep.
Probably step outside.
Sure. We're gonna step outside real quick, Etta.
Mm-hmm.
Grab a cigarette. She's ours. She doesn't know it yet. Oh, was that Ziggy?
Alright, I just really don't want anyone overhearing this.
No, you're good. You want a cigarette?
Yes, please.
There you go.
Thank you. If it hadn't have been for Ziggy, I'd say I would have gone down a path where I wouldn't be in this club anymore. And likely buried 6 feet underground. Wasn't for the fact of wanting to leave, it was
Knowing what you were gonna do.
yeah.
I'm glad you didn't follow down that path. And more specifically, I'm going to pull a little bit of my police knowledge out for a minute. My first investigation ever. I had to investigate the murder of a man named Chino Gonzalez. And it also happened to have been a time when the Vagos were blooding out. I believe it was 8 members. And every single one of them I had to respond to. And I had to learn about. And to be honest with you, it is the scariest part of groups to me. I understand why they exist. But if there's literally any other police officer who still wears a badge to this day, who understands that statement that you said, it is me. I dealt with many more after. I had to understand and learn about the reasonings for a blood out when I was a cadet. Because when I asked for help, no one helped me. I am so glad you did not go down that path. And I'm more grateful and more glad that Ziggy was there when you needed somebody and he was willing to have his hand out. There's a lot of thing that changes in groups, and I became the gang expert for a lot of people. I was the gang guy. Something happened with a gang. Somebody call Flop. He knows. Affiliations, call Flop. He knows. Flop, you look through this report. What does this look like to you? It was a constant thing, and if there's anything that ever stayed the same, members of groups being blooded out was always a very, very, very disappointing, upsetting, and scary thing. No one's ever been blooded out and stabbed in the leg for it.
No. Back of the head.
Every single one. That is a constant that remains consistent today. I'm really glad you didn't go down that path.
As well.
It upsets me. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you good. You good.
It upsets me to be in my position and feel like I am one of the only few cops who still sees good in people. And it breaks my heart to think that the integrity of just being a good person has began to shy away. And it upsets me to think that my style of doing the right thing is almost frowned upon by people. Because I get to hear stories like yours. And I get to hear stories like many others who are willing to put their trust in me. And then I have to go sit in a room of people that wouldn't give their time of day to have any form of empathy for this side of things. And that's not everybody, but I'd be comfortable with saying that that's probably a majority.
Very unfortunate to hear. Also, please don't say this to anyone.
You have my promise. That is a very confident promise I can give you. I will say this to you, though. I will not tell Ziggy.
He already has an idea. I gave him my weapons a couple days ago.
Okay.
He knows I'm scared of attacking someone in the club or hurting someone.
I think um, the implication is fine. I also think Ziggy would really appreciate if you had the pleasure of being able to tell him uh, how much he means to you. Because I know he sticks his neck out for the good. And he invited you under this roof. So he sees a lot of good in you. And I don't think that there's any way I could approach it outside of that promise I gave you, where it would mean as much coming from me versus you. Doesn't have to be now or tomorrow or whenever, but I think you would appreciate hearing what you told me.
I'll tell him. Guess also speaking of bloodouts, this is going back to when I was in BBMC. Went through, I think, 3 of them during my time in that club.
I bet you it never got easier.
No. Just blanket energy that gets put across everyone, the entire club, for the next week is fucking awful. I remember going down to the billy after someone had been blooded out. Just everyone has their head just down. No one's really saying hi to each other. Just going into the billy, doing what they need to do and leaving.
I mean, I can relate to that. I lost my friend who was an officer. Uh, I guess it's been about a week. And it's amazing how hollow a unified group of people can be after hearing the news of someone they cared about. And I think hollow is the only way I can describe that emotion.
Yeah.
You mind if I ask you a somewhat personal question?
Mm.
What made you pick the BBMC?
Ooh, that's a long story. Um,
If it's too long, you don't have to. It's all good. I'm not looking to.
no, I can go through it. This goes all the way back when I was working at Hayes, actually. Minding my own business. Dundee came in, started screaming some shit about Shayna. Apparently Shayna had I don't know what he'd done. Apparently he'd done something against the club.
Fucking
So he
Shano.
came in screaming. I got stabbed in the gut. My coworker got her throat slit. Uh, I essentially begged Shano to close the store because I knew it was going to get worse. I hadn't been part of any groups at the time, but I knew the reputation BBMC had. Shano didn't want a bar of it, so I went there the next day, begging the fucking workers there to leave. Right? No one left.
You can come over.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as I said, no one left. We have 3 Bondi blue cars rolling to Hayes. Everyone has a gun put to the back of the head. There's about 4 of us there. We get taken up to the lumber mill. Everyone's in cuffs. I think it was Barry who was speaking to us. Telling us we had to quit, or else, basically. I had convinced him I was going to quit. The person next to me had CDs of hubcaps, so we didn't get shot. But I watched the other 2 get shot right next to me. Right after that, I remember vividly texting Shano that I fucking quit and that he needs to shut that store before more people get hurt. He naturally didn't shut it again. I end up with a phone call saying, hey, we know you care about the store. We know there's people you care about here. Are you willing to defend it? I told him no, but I'm willing to defend the people I cared about that worked there. So I was handed an AK and put on top of that roof. I'd never held a fucking AK before in my life. I'd never held a gun before that week in my life. I am just a person who's very willing to do whatever for people they care about. So it ends up with BBMC surrounding Hayes. Before we even get a single shot off, everyone gets shot down. I remember the person I was next on the roof, I think Kennedy. He was bleeding out. Everyone around me being rushed to the ambulances, just fucking bleeding out. After that day, I had completely pulled the plug on Hayes. I wasn't going back. Because I knew I'd get seen there again. It was going to be probably lights out for me, right? Junior had noticed me on that roof and remembered me from the lumber mill. So a couple of days after all that happened, I got picked up by him. They asked me why I was there. I explained to them that I was there to protect the people I cared about. I wasn't there because I was working. I guess I was satisfied with that answer because somehow they let me go,
Oh, Ziggy.
but told me to never do that shit again, basically. So I was able to walk. After that, I tried reaching out to people I worked with at Hayes. Got met with, we don't care about you, Rue. You are worthless. We don't give 2 shits about you. Fuck off. So, I had
Damn, that's
no
kind
one.
of fucked up.
I put my life on the line for these people. They turn around and do that.
What was said that made them resort to that? What was their... Obviously,
Nothing. It was because I quit. That was it. Only reason.
kind of funny that that place never changed. I worked at Harmony, and it was constantly people coming at Harmony to cause problems and tell us, fuck Harmony. So,
Remember that whole thing.
yeah, me too. It was like it was yesterday. But this isn't about
Just
me. I
about.
just, it's fun. It's just funny to see the correlation that that place has not changed whatsoever.
No, I didn't.
But go ahead. I'm
And
sorry.
no, you're good. So after that, I had no one because all my friends were at Hayes, right? And for them to just turn around and say that shit to me, that fucked me up a bit. So I went on the biggest fucking bender of my life. Every drug I could, drank every bottle of alcohol I could get my hands on, until I crashed into a bloke's car. His name was VB. He, I guess, took a liking or pity for me. We started becoming friends. I literally had nothing else, right? I had lost all my friends previously, lost my job, didn't have anything going for me but drinking and doing whatever I could. So VB swoops me up, starts to.
Is that your phone? You hear
I
that?
think so. Yeah.
Vicky, is your phone ringing?
The Edda's phone, maybe?
I really hope so. We're not being fucking
I don't
stalked
know.
right now. Whatever.
I'll light him on fire.
I'll shoot him.
So yeah, VB picked me up. VB at the time had joined a group called Beach Crew. And he wanted me to come along and see what it was about. So he brought me down to the Beach Crew block. And that's where I guess, formally met Junior. He was part of BBMC and wanted to try and build this small, I guess, group that will kind of have BBMC's, I don't know, I guess, kind of guidance in a way, whatever. As
Name
long
on
as
it
they
or
got,
something. Some affiliation.
yeah, yeah, but we weren't allowed to say anything about that affiliation. So it was very odd circumstances, but it didn't really work out, but it did for a little bit. So
I kind of remember it.
I remember.
If it's the same beach club I remember, it was a little bit. It wasn't in the Billy, but it was near it. A little bit
It was bottom
closer.
of Bay City.
City. I do remember that. Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, I re-met Junior. He was like, "The fuck are you doing here?" Naturally. Guess I kind of explained my situation. I don't have anything else to lose, and I may as well try and put my time and effort in to help out a friend. Yeah. He was happy with that answer. He got me to make a promise to never snake the crew. And fast forward a couple months, somehow they vote me in. Fucking this was like the height of my drinking. They somehow vote me in as leader. My drinking naturally starts to become the downfall of Beach Crew. People start resenting me, start leaving left, right, and center. And then one of the other leaders had gotten kidnapped and murdered. And then the other leader, there's three of us, had been brought into BBMC as a hangaround. So when Beach Crew started to crumble, Junior had seen this and decided to extend me an offer to become a hangaround for BBMC. Junior was one of the first people to show me what it's like to have someone trust you back. Have someone to actually believe in your skills and capabilities and be in your corner wanting you to improve. So I took the offer, found out everyone else in BBMC had the exact same mindset of wanting to help lift up the people around them. So I put my full heart and effort into that, considering off a Beach Crew, I had people continuously backstab me, steal shit from me, threaten to kill me, just up and leave. Like a rotating door. And then I guess everything from BBMC snowboarded from there. I got prospected in. Then after Sanguine, I got patched in.
Damn.
While I was a Hangy Beach crew got disbanded. Yeah, it's just kind of ironic that I ended up in BBMC after being kidnapped and threatened by multiple times.
It's funny. Funny how things work. That's
Hmm.
I appreciate you sharing that. That's it's interesting. No one ever really thinks about what led them to, I guess, that point being patched in or affiliated, but everybody has a reason to be where they're at.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I mean, obviously, I'd known of and known some people from back then, but I wasn't really like involved with, too many people. Obviously, I was a cop, and I spent a lot of time just working. I didn't really do what Flop's doing here, which is, taking the time to talk with people, which I sort of regret. But um, when everybody started moving back to the island, I just one of the just people that I was running into was a lot of folks from you know BBMC or what was, um, and working a lot, just doing just regular shit with Barry for a while there, and yeah, over time, seeing and hanging out with everyone.
I knew I had a bad
Um,
hunch about that
and
guy.
you know, as time went on, I just noticed little things here and there about everybody, the shit that they were dealing with or was sort of leaving unsaid or unspoken. And I think, uh, if I'm not mistaken, the first real proper sit down, like a conversation that I had with anybody in the club where I had set out to try and help
Thank you guys for all the well wishes. What's
was
up?
you, Rue. I,
Me?
yeah, yeah. Just thinking back on it, like I had, the idea and was wanting to, just be I don't know, yeah, a positive in what was, you guys had gone through literal years of hardship, uh, and yeah, you were the first person that I actually properly sat down with.
Was that when you told me to do the drawings?
That was when we made uh,
No,
the
yeah.
yeah, the pact.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
The pack?
Me and Rue agreed that, um, you know, if, if either of us, Rue with alcohol or me with uh, coke,
Yeah.
if either
Yeah,
of
that whole
us,
thing.
yeah, whenever we slipped up, we would hold the other accountable. Which I still have, things that I'm gonna think up, but um, you know, that's just something that we're holding ourselves to even now.
Absolutely.
Rue, There's something that you should know. And I don't know if you want to hear it now because it's a lot of information to ingest. It is kind of new information as well.
Okay.
While you guys have been talking, I was going through that docket of the case for the shooting. There have been public phone records that have been subpoenaed. They are there. And that includes Solomon's.
Oh.
Yeah. Um, the phone records show that he was calling several members of Changgang just before everything. Once the shooting happened, he received lots of phone calls, some from people in the club. And that was, I think, when it was happening. In fact, I think those are on video, but it's more the days after that are concerning to the only two people that he was in contact with or that he called from the club
Lot feels relief knowing that he had the ability to be the one to
were
disclose this. But was
you,
also the one that
but
got the subpoena signed.
you were the one to call him 5 times. He called you once. I know I saw that there was a text exchange.
As upsetting as it is.
You know, and the only other person that he attempted to contact from the club was I don't want to say his name because he doesn't. Yeah.
I can make a guess.
Every other phone call, at least for the majority part, over the days following that, were to I shouldn't say every other phone call. I should say majority of his phone calls were to people in the manor, which is sort of confirming what we figured what was happening. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they called me after I called him a bunch of times.
Don't do that.
Oh, she scared the shit out of us.
You fuck.
Huh?
Nothing. No, you're good. Just I didn't know who was above us. You're good.
Hey, Shang.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry.
it's like you're okay. I think JT was gonna stop by. He wanted to be filled in. I think he may be up front.
Okay. Let me start with him.
Oh, and Maggie's calling.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, um, yeah, I think, I mean, I just know that, for the most part, you were the one, calling first, which, hey, maybe there was, you know, some prior communication before that, but, and I'm not gonna make, judgment on what happens there. It's just phone calls, right? I don't know how or why those are happening, right? But that's just sort of what the logs say. Um, yeah. He missed several calls from uh, Barry and some others. Um,
Mm.
yeah. Uh, I wanted to tell you, so one that you knew, and I don't know if you wanted to look at them because it's a lot to process, but also to give you a heads up. This is the number, your number is on there, but they don't know who it's attached to. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not noted down, but you, he does say your name in the texts, and that may be brought up during the trial. I don't know why,
Okay.
but lawyers are fucking callous, cruel creatures. So,
I'm gonna weigh into it a little bit because obviously I had a little bit of prior knowledge, not a lot, but I had a little bit of prior. I don't think it'll be brought up during trial. So because it's on the docket, they will use whatever they can, and it is possible, uh, based on the charges associated with. I don't see why they would.
mhm.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Right, you would hope, um, but who knows?
No, that's fair. That's
You know?
So I shouldn't have to worry about any of that.
Um, the court case probably not. I think the only thing that they would really do there is if Solomon gets brought up to the stand, they may question his character and, ask about the text messages between you and him. But even then, that should be objected to because it's not relevant. Um,
Not bad.
um,
You can look at them if you want.
no, I know. Um, they're not bad. I know they're not. It's not. It's not an incriminating thing. It's just, you know.
there's two types of approach in court. There's the evident approach and the emotional approach. And a lawyer's job is to typically, in a typical court fashion, appease a jury. And a jury hears both sides of evidence, but a jury typically is also swayed by an emotional attachment to someone's character, someone's personality, someone's life. And for a jury to not be unanimous and to offer the integrity of the jury, uh, sometimes a lawyer we'll use the emotional side. And it is unfortunately not illegal, but it does happen more often than not, especially in criminal trials where people have to have some sort of testify if their name is called.
I'm not going to testify. That wouldn't happen, would it?
No. I'll be honest with you. If they haven't called you for anything, the only reason they would call you is if it was a police officer for an interrogation. At this point, I don't think that you're going to be interrogated for a trial that's happening in less than 12 hours.
Yeah, there's no way.
At this point,
They've
a
got-
judge would deny the addition of new evidence on the docket.
Exactly.
So I think Ziggy's bringing it up not for your sake, in terms of you having to testify, more what they're going to try and manipulate and push with Solomon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, Ziggy, last Brewer and I have heard still in the ICU. Is that still the case?
I know as much as you do.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Got my sim back.
yeah, I was gonna say I don't. Those are your texts. That's, you know.
They got me a driver for my delivery. And the driver was 30 minutes out. What the fuck?
Wouldn't be surprised if I got some sort of text from him. He's out of the ICU, maybe. I don't know. Probably not.
Hmm.
To myself or Ziggy, and to the eyes of the court, you have done nothing wrong. So I don't want you to try and paint a narrative that you've done something.
I'll be honest. I don't know if anybody was really saying that, but
I don't think anyone was, but
that's, yeah.
I'm more reiterating to let the trial happen, and I wouldn't be concerned about results. Flop, or not Flop, Ziggy, you dumb fuck. She just handed you her SIM card. She's
Gotcha.
in fear, motherfucker. Dumb motherfucker couldn't even look at a goddamn docket posting. Ooh. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Hmm.
She even said, "Look at my text. I didn't say anything wrong." She has the mental admittance of guilt, you dumbass.
You okay?
Yeah, I just I'm I'm concerned about you, Rue. Like, I just hearing all this and seeing everything, like, you know, the thought that just keeps going over in my head is I'm just